I'm not leaving, that's impossible to do. Cause if you want me to go, you got me looking the way you do. You got me cooking the way you do. You got me looking me. If you want me to go, you got me looking the way you do. You got me walking the way you do. Because
all right, everybody, so let's welcome TTPS Media Ambassador Sergeant Ancil Forde. Mr. Forde, always good to see and speak with you. It's the day before the holiday, you know.
Yes,
you're working
indeed.
tomorrow?
No, man.
all right. You get a blind,
Hopefully I would not be. Let me put it like that.
After he said no, then he says hopefully I'll not be.
Because
all right. Okay.
the organization is such.
Go ahead, Mr. Forde, your time.
Pleasant morning, Marlan.
Yes.
Pleasant morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Marlan, we are looking at the whole concept of community policing, and oftentimes let us say, the things that we would have discussed and the advice that we would have given hinges a lot on, that issue of community policing. Now, it is a philosophy that speaks to the community and the police working together to fix or assist in fixing the problems that exist within the community, and also to strengthen that relationship in terms of the trust and confidence that a community ought to have with let us say, the police. Now, by getting buy-in from members of the particular area, understanding what are the challenges that they are having, and by the police having that understanding and working with persons within the community to develop the best approach or approaches to deal with the particular situation, it means that you have a collaborative effort going forward, right? And with that, you more or less tend to, or you ought to get the support from the law-abiding, and I say law-abiding,
yes,
persons within the community, because there would have been consultation, regular discussions, recommendations, there would have been plans developed, right? And then plans put into action with a re-evaluation of the particular plan to see the result and so on, right? Now, how important is that? It is very important, because it is going to be a challenge for us, the police, who are strangers to the community, not knowing who are the players, right? But you who live in the community, you would readily identify who are the players and be able to speak to from a personal or hands-on, right, experience of the problem. Yeah? So when it is we have that collaborative approach, we can strategize specifically to deal with that threat or that problem, right? And the buy-in, Marlan, the buy-in is what is really important. Because with that buy-in, you have persons from within the community who are willing and ready to support the police by way of giving information. All right? And we need to understand that a lot of the successes that we report, it is because not only of intelligence work, but also because of that community effort, that relationship, all right, that we have.
Let me just make a point here,
Sure.
because in the past, the police service has been criticized for community policing.
Yes.
So there have been massive success where I personally have seen where it has worked very, very good, and we can just speak about Shogunas or the central area where it has worked very, very
Yes,
well.
it has.
However, there have been criticisms that, hey, it is seen as a softer approach.
Yes.
And because it is seen as a softer approach, it is felt that the community, they trust the police so much, and the police trust members of the community so much that they can actually get away with anything.
Okay. Now, on the first point of it being a softer side of policing, I want to say yes, it is a softer side of policing. If we were to compare, let us say, traditional policing, right? Where it might have been more about brand, right? Roughness, you know, and that sort of respect that officers would have gotten from members of the community off of that probably fear, you know, that they may have had for the police, if so. And the softer side of policing now is the version that you see where the officers and they are patrolling within the community, greeting, right, members of the public, engaging in conversation, participating in sporting activities. These are some of the softer approaches, right? But let us not limit it to that, because within that you have hardcore policing based on the need, where it is there's a threat and you have to strategize and engage that threat to remove that threat from the community. Yes? So it is a blend, but yet still, it is a softer side because the members of the community are more involved and they are encouraged to be involved, right? And things that we would have done to encourage that sort of collaboration, we can speak about the police youth clubs.
Yes.
Right? Has been tried, and I want to say proven, right, to be successful. We have the station council meetings, we have the town meetings, we have the legal aid clinic, where we have a group of attorneys working alongside the police to advise persons within the community where the law is and how they can deal with certain things that affect them, right? These, I want to say, activities, they go a long way, all right? And the intention behind it all is to make your community as safe as it can be, all right? And that is a long-term and continuous activity that we have to engage in, right? We have to sustain it. Now, there are persons who have a different view, right? And they may feel that that is not for the police to engage in that sort of, let us say, softer policing.
Yes.
Right? They believe that it's about lock up. Come in, lock up. But understanding the culture, understanding the issue allows for you to take a different approach and probably get a better result. All right? Because the lockup means that one person or one family can be affected, and children can be affected, and the spill-off effect, right? Or even if it is that is the child, right, who is, let us say, the threat. By having a different approach, you might identify that is guidance, is attention, is support, is love, right? That child needs to help that child to find direction.
Yeah.
So, once it is that we identify the successes, what we want to do is to continue to educate members of the public, all right? Because empowerment is a key factor in how we deal with issues within our community, right? And empowerment in terms of explaining the law, advising them on making reports, advising them on how to treat with evidence, right? And I say evidence. We know that things do happen, and we, the police, would not be there at all times. But you having an appreciation for what the police needs to do, you can preserve what is there in terms of evidence that the police can take it further with respect to solving a crime and boosting that level of confidence that persons ought to have within the police. Now, empowerment also deals with, let us say, advising them how they can report the police. Because we accept the fact that not every police officer is squeaky clean. And how does that impact on that community policing trust? If it is that you have a bad egg or two, right? So even how to treat with situations like that. And that brings about a certain level of transparency, a certain level of accountability, right? And if it is that we are able to empower members of the public sufficiently to be owners of their community, to support the police, we believe that the success that we would have had, or let's say we had and continue to have, that it will even increase. All right? But it's important that we get all these stakeholders on board. All right? And we stakeholders, we speak from the home, talking about the family. All right? We extend it outside to the wider community. We have the churches, we have the businesses, right? We have even the politicians, right? Involved, opposition involved. But all of us have to be singing the same song, desirous of having the same result, right? In order for us to be successful. Now, through our station council meetings, this is one of the best forums for, let us say, the best models to be built, right? Because whilst we may have town meetings, persons, because of that public showing, may be unwilling to get involved, right? For understandable reasons. At the station council level, it is more intimate, right? And that exchange of information is a lot more, I want to say, forthcoming, all right? And that is what we want to encourage persons to become involved in, all right? As well as the town meetings.
But let me make a point on that.
Sure.
Because there is a sort of impression in all communities, and there's a sort of discomfort by the lawless persons in the community. There's a discomfort among them when they do see the law-abiding citizens meeting with police and greeting and talking with police. And because of that, there is a fear by the law-abiding citizen to meet with the police. How does the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service deal with a situation like that?
Marlan, it is a challenge because that fear factor is real. Simply because of, let us say, persons feeling the brunt of reprisal or, you know, some criminal activity. Particularly because they say, hey, you're informer, as the case may be, and things like that. All right? We try our best to be as confidential as we can be in the handling of information, solely to protect that person who is supportive of the police. All right? We know that that fear factor, we cannot eliminate it altogether. But what we have to do is continue to educate members of the public on the reasons why it is important that you work with us, all right? And not only educate, but when it is that they work with us, that we report on the results.
Yes.
That it be timely, that they can see, that collaborative approach, that it is bearing fruit.
But doesn't these meetings also provide an opportunity for the relationship between the community and the police officers to become closer? And I say closer because you do have now a personal relationship, in some cases, with senior police officers in the division.
Yes, it allows for that because of the fact that there's this forum through which you meet, right? So you can build that level of comfort. That would help to reduce that fear factor and encourage more persons to be involved. But it is something that we need to continue to bring home and to discuss and to see how best we can convert the persons who feel different about it to recognize that this is the approach that is needed. And why so? Because it is tailor-made.
Okay, good.
Tailor-made to your community.
To meet the challenges of every division.
That you have, right? So if you don't get involved, if you are not participating, then you are not really trying to assist in solving the problem that affect you and your family.
I just have about 1 minute again.
Sure. So we believe that the community policing approach, right, is the better out of the two in terms of the traditional hardcore policing, but yet still they go hand in hand based on the need. All right? So to members of the public, all right, be supportive of the police officers in your community. Let us work together to ensure that your community and Trinidad and Tobago by extension, that it remains a safe place, and our efforts even bring it safer where there are some challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Forde, always good to see and speak with you. Enjoy the holiday tomorrow and see you right back here next week.
Thank you very much, Marlan. Same to you and your family.
All right, everybody, coming back.
Your back on my clothes in a garbage bag. You put it on the ground by the road.